Alright, I'm back on the microwave. I've got a new old stock magnetron. I'm going to put that in there and see what happens. Capacitor tested okay, but I've got a new one. And I got a new fuse as well. I'm going to pop the old fuse out. And I've got a diode too, though the diode tested good, so while I got it apart, I just might as well do a quick rebuild on it. Which that should be okay. I'll do from the ground up since all the other stuff is out and out of the way. We'll start with the fuse. I got this capacitor kit. It should have a diode and everything with it. Boy, they packed it up good. It'll take all evening to get that taken out, I think. But I'll keep working on this and we'll come back when we get it opened up. Okay, there. That is open. Now, I've got the fuse. Put the fuse in first. Man, they really packed this thing nicely. No complaints about that. At least it wasn't broke when I got it, so put the fuse in first. I don't know if that's able to be shown, but there it is in. They got the diode taped up pretty well to the capacitor. And they used some good tape. Capacitor just sits right in there. I've got one wire I want to reroute. I don't like what I'm seeing. This high voltage wire just isn't sitting well like that. I apologize, I'm in the way. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. It almost looked like it was rubbing. I may pull this one off. I'll figure out something to make myself happy. If I got a little piece of wire loom, I might put that on there. I just don't like how that is at all. Okay, I'll get the diode off. Perfect. And that goes, there's the original diode, and then the new one will mount the same way like that. I think the old one probably would have been okay, but if I'm going to go through all the trouble of taking this apart, I might as well do a kind of a quick rebuild. Now I can crank that down. There's that. And that just sat there like that. I gotta find something for that high voltage line. Okay, see there? Now that wire is more isolated from the rest of the circuit. I didn't like it resting on those other two wires. It looked like it had a spot that might burn through. Okay, next part. it had a piece of weather stripping on top of the capacitor that the fan rested on. So I've reproduced that. And the fan is what holds the capacitor in place. Let's put it in the right way, and I think it'll line up a lot better. There it is. There. Well, that landed about 6 inches from my left foot, so glad that missed, because that would have hurt. Let's see if I can get this tilted up. Oh yeah. I gotta get the correct screw in it. That's better. Now tilt it back down. Hook the leads up to the motor. And I did oil it, so it's ready to go. All that's left is the magnetron. And in the pictures, it's the same one that was in it from factory, a Panasonic, made in Japan. Oh yeah, there's the brand new one, new old stock, and here's the old one. Same part number, same everything. Let's get that switch off and move it over to the new rig, and I guess I'll put that weather stripping on it. Okay, that lines up. And I'll straighten it up once I get it started. Very good. Now we'll go all the way tight. And that's transferred. Let's get some weather stripping cut out. Should be plenty. We'll go a little more. I want to make sure I got enough. And this looks like the same stuff that was used from the factory. So that's what I'll put on it. Mine may not be as neat, but it'll work. Glad I cut that little extra bit. That was just guessing right there. It came out pretty good. Now it's got some on the other side. Do the same thing. And there it is. Now that's ready to go in. Maybe this goes this way. I think so. Yep, definitely goes that way. Look, thermal cutout, or the high limit cutout. That should go down like that. There's two little plastic tabs that hold that in place. Couple of the magnetron screws in. Might make that a little easier to get those plastic tabs lined up. Works, perhaps I can make some celebratory nachos. And I'm going to double check my work before I plug it in. Make sure nothing's touching that's not supposed to be. Everything's hooked up. Capacitor's in there. It's not going anywhere. Everything's tied, everything's plugged in. Well, that'll be the moment of truth here. I made a new one of these. Not perfect, but it'll work. Let's see if it blows up or the smoke gets let out. The clock's flashing all zero, so that's a good sign. Let me get a little container and put some water in it and see if it'll heat up. Be right back. Alright. I've got some water I'm going to put in this little bowl. And we're going to see if it works. The starting temperature of the water, 78.2 degrees. In it goes. Now this will be the smoke test. I think we're chooching. It's not making that god-awful noise it was making the other day. It's quieter than before. And the lights kind of flickered a little bit too. Oh shoot, yeah, it's working, guys. I ran it about 20 seconds and it made 108-degree water. So I think we are back in business. I am quite happy about that. So I can put the schematic diagram back in there. And put the cover back on it and we'll be ready to go. So there's one more look at it. There was my problem right there. And I got an exact replacement. So you can't beat that. The other day I was out here and I was playing with this kilowatt and I didn't get it captured on camera, but when the microwave was running with the bad magnetron, it was chooching at 275 watts. Now that it's all good and in good working order again, I'm going to see what it does now. We'll do 25 seconds. Oh, that sounds awesome. That's more like it. We're 990 watts or so. And then it goes back to 2.5 watts on standby. Now let's see what that water is. Find my temp gun. There it is. Got a huge mess in here from working on this microwave. It's showing that it's only 70 degrees. I don't buy that for a minute. Yeah, 119.3. So now, while I was working on it, I left the glass tray inside the dining room in a safe place so it didn't get broke while I was carrying it in and out of the house and carrying it in and out of the workshop. So, to recap, I was able to test the diode. It's good. The capacitor tested good. I didn't have a way to test the magnetron, but everything else that I tested seemed like it was okay. So it all pointed to the magnetron being bad. And as I stated earlier in the video, I never worked on a microwave before in my life. But you never know what you can do unless you just jump in there and try. So once again, thank you for watching this Octember failure of the 1988 Magic Chef microwave and getting it working once again.